Kratos, another post about Kratos. This time is about the Norse mythology. In the Norse mythology, we have a very different Kratos. A lot of people are saying, oh, we have the redemption Kratos, we have the Kratos who's trying to do better. I'm not sure about that, because the Kratos we have in it's a total 180. The Kratos we have in the Greek, again, he's mad, he's angry, he doesn't give a shit. And in the Norse mythology, it's like he gives too much of a shit, you know? He wants to, like, the whole journey with Atreus. A lot of people are saying, oh, he wants to teach the kid, but I think he wants to protect the kid, he wants to teach the kid. And yeah, that's true. But I think that he knows. Because all along, when we have the two brothers of the son of Thor, he's like, don't kill God, there's consequences, right? So I don't think that he ever wanted to kill Baldur. If you look at Ragnarok, right after, if you look at Ragnarok, what is he doing? They're hiding. They're hiding in a cave, right? And I think they're hiding because gods are after them, but I think they're hiding because they don't want to kill the god. And that's another thing. The Kratos in the Norse mythology is a lot more calm. He's a lot more reserved. There's so many moments where he could have been a great father. Like, there's moments where, for example, in the very first 40 minutes of the game, Atreus, he has to kill a deer, and he doesn't want to kill the deer. So when he does, he's like, oh, should I? I don't know if I should kill the deer, right? And his father wants to put his hand on his shoulder to reassure him and say, hey, go ahead, son, I'm behind you. But he doesn't, because he's afraid that, I don't know, maybe there's a part of me that thinks that he didn't get this love as a kid. There's a part of me that thinks that maybe he doesn't know how to love because he wants a chance to be strong, you know? Give me a sec. And yeah, so the Kratos from the Norse mythology is very different. And you know what? It's funny because the Kratos from the first saga, if you want, he wasn't a hero. He was no fucking hero. He was a fucking villain. When you think about it, Kratos was kind of a villain. A villain that kills other villain is still a villain, right? And this one, he actually cares. Like, for example, he doesn't really care about Sindri and Brock. He doesn't really care about them. He doesn't really like them. But when Atreus, he's getting mad, he's being a dick to Sindri, Kratos, he defends him. He's being really more thoughtful. I wish we, in the first game, because I'm talking about the first game, we had more of Faye, the way she was acting with him. And we see it in the second game. And the second game is really fucking good. Because in the second game, because spoiler, if you haven't played Ragnarok, if you haven't played Kratos God of War PS4, don't listen to this. But we know at the end of the first game that he's gonna die, right? Which he doesn't. He doesn't. No, he doesn't. Right? And he's like fearful because he's willing to meet his fate. He's willing to meet his death. And he knows, and you know what's the truth? He knows that Atreus is ready. At the end of the time period between the first game and the second game, Atreus was ready. And it was kind of cool because there's a scene where he's training in the World Tree, and you got Atreus training in Asgard. Fucking swallow the flea. And yeah, so it is so good. Kratos as a Norse, again, he's more thoughtful, you know. It's to me, it's interesting because we know that Kratos was a general when he started, right? And we got a Kratos that is really a lot more. I think even Mimir is influenced in that because Kratos is willing to tell stories, willing to try to tell jokes. And I think those stories he tells are things that he thought about because he's like, well, I had this life of regrets, you know. He wanted to be isolated, but if he met Faye and had Atreus, you know. People don't understand how much time has passed between the Greek saga and God of War PS4. Atreus is like what? Atreus is like 10, 11. That means there's at least 12 years in between, right? That's a long time for somebody with regrets. So yeah, so the Kratos we see in Ragnarok is very different. He's a more calmer, he's a more thoughtful. A lot of people are... I saw some forums say they prefer the God of War from the Greek, the God of War from the Norse, but I don't think that we have the same character. I don't think that the story is the same. The main character is supposed to be Atreus. You know, in the second game when you can control him, you can actually control him, and that's a nice stat because they're... So, if there's another saga of God of War, I think it's going to be playing as Kratos, of course. But the fact that they're willing to put you as Atreus, and let the player be Atreus, I think they're willing to let go of that God of War image. We see Kratos getting older, getting weaker, right? And it's not time necessarily to say, oh, goodbye. But we can kind of see. So, and I just said in the PS4, the first of the new generation, at the end we see him die. It's a possibility that he doesn't die physically; he dies spiritually or iconically. You know what I mean? It's just a great character. You know, there's so many characters I can think of that aren't as complete as Kratos. And the sad thing about Kratos, about the what you call it, the Norse mythology, is that we have this character that I don't think I would have liked Kratos from the Greek mythology as much as I would love the Ragnarok. But I think that the Ragnarok, I would have not. I love Kratos from the Greek mythology, but I don't know if I would have liked 2 more games with that guy, especially with Atreus around. You know, I think we need that the Kratos of the Kratos of the Norse mythology. I think we need that calmer version, that more thoughtful version, that father figure instead of the warrior, because that's what he is. At the core, Kratos is a father. He lost his wife. Sure, he killed his wife and his kids by mistake, but he still was a killer. You know, so yeah, so we have this character back, and I think it's a breath of fresh air to have this change in attitude and perception and vision. And it's a welcome change, because at the end of the day, we want a character that's going to last. And Kratos as a villain won't last. Kratos as a father, there's hope for him, you know? There's even a chance for him if he's not in a second, or it's not in a new saga or new generation. There's even a chance that we get to see past memories of him. We saw in Ragnarok that we had places where we saw Faye. We could have done the same thing with Kratos, you know? We never know what they have in store. I don't think it's finished for God of War. I think we're gonna have to wait a long fucking time, because if you think about it, it was how many years between? I want to say it was 2015 that we got God of War 3. No, I was at my father's place. I was at my father's place, so that's 2012. And we got another game in 2018. God of War Ragnarok came out in I want to say 2021, but if we have to wait 6 years, that's a long ass time. Anyway, that was Kratos from the Norse saga. It's funny, I make a 7 minutes video. I still have to remind myself, oh yeah, it's the Norse mythology. As always, love you guys.